morning, everybody. It's a very mild October 19th here, overcast, and we're due to have rain starting tonight and most of tomorrow. I just watched one of the videos that Work with Nature posts, and I think he called this an easy man's garden bed or something of that nature anyway. I will put a link to his video down below this video, and this is a video response to what he did. It made a lot of sense to me. I've never done anything like it before, but I have to give it a try. I'm not sure how much will show up here. Ignore the strange bent up rods that I'm using to mark out this area, but what I want to end up with here is a bed that's 4 feet wide, and it'll have a 2-foot wide aisle down both sides. And what you do first is you mark off a square. This is 8-foot square, and then I come in 2 feet from the side and put another line down on both sides. So you take 2 feet off each side, you end up with a 4-foot wide bed in the middle. And the interesting thing that you do, and I hope I can make this look like it's supposed to look when I finish here, but you cut the sod on both of the 2 aisles, the 2-foot aisles that I'm leaving down both sides. You cut them along here and down this back string, but you leave the sod along this string attached, and then you do 1 spade width and cut slices out 1 spade width down along that way. You lift those sods up and flop them over without breaking the edge or hinge or whatever of the sod here. And so that will cover half of this 2-foot bed, and when I do the other side it will cover the other half. And you're left with a bed with the sod that's on it still in the ground, and these sods turned upside down so that everything should compost. The suggestion was to grow potatoes the first year. And I've seen similar things done around here by old-time gardeners where in a new bed, they'll grow potatoes first. So I may do that very thing. I may put some potatoes in here next spring, but I want to try my luck at producing the bed first. There should be excellent soil here. At one time, this whole area, which is now perennial border and shrubs, was a large vegetable garden back when I had herds of goats, a herd of goats, and every time I cleaned out the dressing from the barn, I brought it out here either spring or fall and spread it. So this is really the richest soil that I have, and it's doing nothing but growing weeds and grass, so it'll be nice to have a small bed out of it again. I suspect that's as clear as mud. Hopefully it will make more sense as I progress here. If you check out the video below, the one that's made by Work with Nature, he has some excellent graphics that he put in that shows the process. Makes it make much more sense. Anyway, I'm going to do a little digging here. I'm sort of getting the hang of it a little bit better as I go on here. I remembered something that he said in the video. Just skim off a top layer of sod, not trying to lift the whole great clump of earth out below it. And that way you can do it all with the shovel and flip it back. I've had better success with the last 3 or 4 that I've done here. Hopefully this one will demonstrate what I'm talking about. think that probably showed it a little bit better. All that soil that's down below there can be shoveled off later when you've got all the sods turned over. One side completed, well, flipped over. I haven't done anything about taking soil out of the aisleway there yet, but I'm adjusting my strings at this point in time. It didn't end up being a 2-foot wide thing that I lifted out of there. I've remeasured and it's about 21, 22 inches on average. So I'm going to move in and do the same thing from this side, so hopefully everything meets in the middle. Well, what I've said so far hasn't made a lot of sense. This might begin to make a little better sense to you. I've now started flipping over the second side, and it's meeting up quite nicely with where the first side flipped over, about halfway down. After that, like I've been saying, I will shovel some of the soil out of the pathway up onto the top of it. I'll give you a look at it when it's all finished, if you're still awake. There's the finished product, at least until next spring. I shoveled out quite a bit of the soil, stony soil, but quite a bit of the soil that's in the 2 side trenches, and it looks quite good. I can see what they mean by it would act as a raised bed. Excess water would drain down into the side trenches, and the high soil would dry out faster. Give you an idea where we're located here. That's one of my square-foot garden beds there. That's a barberry. Let's see. That's Euonymus alata, the burning bush just starting to turn color. And we're just directly off to one side of my new hoop house. Anyway, that finishes my effort at the lazy man's garden bed. And I really recommend that you have a look at work with nature. I'll leave the link down below. His video on this is very interesting, but all of his videos are always very interesting.